A dead ringer for Bing Crosby is crooning White Christmas from the stage at one side of the heated tent. The smell of evergreen trees and mulled cider fills the air, and I'm swaying under the glow of thousands of tiny lights with the prettiest woman at the party. The only way the night could get better was if I knew our first date wasn't going to be our last.
Is the music driving you crazy yet?
She asks, a twinkle in her eye. Not a chance. I love Christmas songs.
Me too. They remind me of my grandmother's house. When I was a kid, we'd spend all Christmas Eve day baking cookies and listening to carols. Then Gram and I would stay up until midnight drinking cocoa and writing letters to Santa. She always wrote one, too. She said, "You're never too old for magic."
Sounds like a smart lady. Was she a redhead like you? Maggie's lips curve on one side.
She was. How did you guess?
I've found redheads on the whole to be a pretty magical species.
Oh, yeah.
Her brow arches.
First love?
Guilty, I admit, face going unexpectedly hot. But I've dated brunettes, a few blondes too. It's not a fetish or anything. She grins wider.
No?
No.
So what are your fetishes then?
I'm pretty into a nice pair of calves, like yours, I say, knowing better than to get any racier than that. If I start telling her how much I love long Sunday mornings in bed, reading the paper naked in between makeout sessions, I'm going to get myself in trouble. What about you?
Icing,
she whispers, nibbling her lip.
Homemade peppermint icing.
I'm pretty sure that's a craving, not a kink.
No, I like to lick it off of things and to have it licked off of me.
She breaks off, ducking her head with a giggle while my thoughts dive straight into the gutter.
I can't believe I said that. I think the mulled wine is going to my head.
Then we should go get another glass. I tease as she wraps her arms tighter around my neck. I hug her close, doing my best to stop imagining what it would be like to lick peppermint icing off her lips, her shoulder, her other places that I'm not going to think about. If only she didn't feel so damned good. If only her laugh wasn't like champagne bubbles. If only she didn't keep getting cuter with every passing second.
I think I should hit the buffet first,
she says.
Who knows what I'll say if I have more wine on an empty stomach, and they have the best honey-glazed spare ribs.
That sounds incredible. My stomach rumbles and she grins, nodding her head toward the other side of the tent.
Come on, I'll show you where they put the good stuff.
She leads the way off the dance floor. At the edge, I recapture her hand, loving the way she glances over her shoulder, a warm flash in her eyes that makes me think she likes my touch as much as I like touching her. Thank God we're not alone, or I'm not sure I'd be able to keep my hands in professional date places much longer. My orientation paperwork had an entire section on how to handle myself in the event I was tempted to behave inappropriately with a client, but I skimmed over that part, assuming I'd never have that problem. Now I'm cursing my arrogance and rethinking the wisdom of another glass of wine. I should be building my resistance to this woman, not hacking away at it sip by sip, kiss by kiss. Tell me something awful about yourself. I collect a plate and join Maggie at a hot bar that's giving off heavenly smells. Flaws, I want to hear them. She cuts a narrow glance my way as she loads a sexily generous number of spare ribs on her plate.
Why?
There has to be something wrong with you.
Well, I'm an old maid who never dates,
she murmurs, her brows furrowing as she adds.
How old are you, anyway?